If you want to get high, let's
Hey guys, Andrew McFarland here with StartAJuiceBar.com, and I wanted to do a quick video sharing some of the times where I almost went out of business. And the reason I want to share these things with you is so hopefully you don't make these same mistakes, and you can also have a realistic perspective and understand that the journey of becoming successful for most of us, for most people, is not a straight line to the top of the mountain. 9 times out of 10, your journey is going to be full of challenges, full of roadblocks, full of stop signs, car accidents, and so on. And these things will make you smarter. They'll make you a better entrepreneur, a better juice bar business owner. So I just want to share a few of the experiences I had and the lessons that I learned within these experiences to really help you avoid doing these things. So as many of you know, initially when I started my company, I started with a juice truck, and we had this juice truck for about a year and a half. And it took us a little bit of time. Once we made a specific shift, the business went from being in a place where we almost closed to actually becoming pretty successful, and I'll tell you what that is. So 2 weeks into running this business, we were averaging daily sales of something like $150. So that's not even enough for us at the time to cover our produce costs. So things weren't looking good. And it came to a point where I really had to sit with myself and go, okay, this might not work. You know, all of the money and the intention and time and energy and months of putting into this may have been, I don't want to say a mistake because it's all a lesson, but may not have actually turned out the way that I wanted it to. And so I sat with it for a moment. I started to analyze, why are things going the way that they're going? And the realization that I had is, in having the truck, we were in a new location every single day. And it was really hard for people to find us and consistently know that even if they like something, for them to buy it again, because we weren't there tomorrow. And so the lesson there was really realizing that the consistency of building a relationship with your customers and having a strong customer base is the backbone of your business. And so the change that we needed to make is to find a place where our target demographic was, that we could be on a regular basis. And so we did that. We made that change. We found a place, a parking spot in front of Trader Joe's, because I realized that they have a similar clientele, but they don't have a juice bar inside, and their customers would like fresh juice. And so we literally parked right in front of Trader Joe's for the next year, and our sales started going through the roof, right? That was the first lesson and the first change. And the principle there too as well is just understanding, when you are in a tough situation, you have to make tough decisions. You have to make dramatic decisions. Shifts in paradigm in your business. You can't do small things and expect big things to happen, and that goes for everything in life. So the next experience that I want to share is that eventually, when we had the truck for a year and a half, and then we moved to actually having a store and the truck simultaneously, the first month of having the store, we also started to run into issues. Our cash flow was pretty good, meaning we were making decent money. We weren't making great money. We were making decent money, but our expenses were way too high. We had a lot of spoilage. There were staff that were getting paid quite a bit of money. And I looked at the financials and I said, okay, if we keep going the way that we're going, we might not last another month. So once again, I got to make big decisions. And so unfortunately, I talked to one of the managers who we'd hired, and she was a sweet, sweet woman, but at the same time, she was being paid too much for what we can afford. Now, I shouldn't say too much for her own value, because everyone has their personal sense of value, but she was being paid too much in regards to what we could afford, and so I had to let her go, and it was really, really hard. The next thing that I realized around spoilage is that our menu was way too large. We were trying to do everything. We had, I don't know, maybe 30 different juices, ranging from things with bell pepper, being juiced in arugula, and all of that. And so what I realized is that the desire oftentimes of first-time entrepreneurs or business owners is, in your mind, the ideal business and the ideal product is a business that does everything for everyone, because then you can capture all of the market. Now, philosophically, that seems to make sense. But in actuality, in reality, energetically, it doesn't actually work, because you only have so much time, right? you cannot master everything. And at the same time, the psychology of human beings and your customers is that if you don't have a specialty, you don't stand out in their mind. And so if you do something really, really, really well, or you have a certain approach to juicing or health that's unique to the other businesses around you, now you stick out and they can remember you and they can articulate that to other people. So realize that. Realize that these things are important. And something else that I want to say before I end this video is I've done quite a bit of consulting for people. And one lesson I've learned over the number of years that I've been doing this is that even as I will say certain things to clients that I've had, they might take it and go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Fundamentally and philosophically, it makes sense. But my business is going to be different, right? There is a mentality of first-time entrepreneurs that I think is really, really important to have, but also it's important to have balance. And that mentality is this, it's almost a romanticism of business, right? There's this honeymoon phase of believing that your business is just going to be successful when you start, and that nothing's going to go wrong, and that it's going to be all roses and flowers, and that you are going to have such a great business and a great product that even if you were at the bottom of the ocean, people would take submarines to go down to the bottom of the ocean to drink your juice. Now, I just want to tell you, if you feel that way, uh, take some time to reflect and really realize what's going on in the world. And it's good to believe in your product. I'm not trying to put doubt in your product, but I'm also wanting to invite you to incorporate all the elements of having a mature approach and a practical strategy when it comes to executing your business so that you can be as successful as possible. Because it's needless to say that you should have a great product, yes, but really incorporate great strategy with that, so that way you don't overlook the things that I'm telling you, because I really want to emphasize these things in a way to say that they're not having an efficient menu, and not having a menu that's too large is not debatable. It's not one of those things that you can think, okay, we're going to get around it. It's just a principle of the restaurant industry and what I've seen. Now, everything that I say, there's always anomalies in life, right? There's always like 1% of people who can do things that most people can't do. Don't just assume that you're that 1%. Be realistic and take on the approach of what we have seen have worked. And I know that in some ways I'm preaching to the choir, because if you're watching these videos, it's because hopefully you're mature enough to say, okay, I don't know everything, and I'm not just going to want to do things my own way. It's because you're actually seeking mentorship and you're seeking advice. And so take that on. So make sure that your menu is efficient. Make sure you nurture the relationship of your customers. Make sure you don't overpay your staff. And that's maybe a video I'll make in the future, because it's a fine balance between overpaying and underpaying. And a lot of people either are doing one or the other, but finding that place where you know what is the amount that you guys can afford to make sure your staff is happy and make sure your business stays open and consistent and running, and you can put money in your own pocket. So that's the video for now. If you guys have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I love this community that's being built, and I'm really grateful to be able to continue to interact with all of you. And whatever your needs are, your desires are, let me know, because I make videos for you guys. And so if there's questions you have or videos you want to see me make, just put them in the comment box below. Please like the video, and if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, I invite you to do so. All right, guys, this is Andrew McFarland with StartAJuiceBar.com, signing out, wishing you guys much success, and I'll see you soon. If you want to get